all the time. Why is my fan on? Hold on.
Your computer fan? It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
I swear it doesn't even matter. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jan Anderson here in the San Francisco Bay Area, voice actor, and coming to you today on, God, what is it? The 16th of June, and it's still COVID. Isn't that great? Yay! I had an opportunity to sit down with a really good friend of mine, Jennifer Knight, voiceover artist extraordinaire. And we just kind of caught up, and I asked her some questions that I thought you might be interested in. I know I was interested. She's an awesome person, fantastically talented voice actor. And so check this out. Hi, Jen.
Hi. Oh, are you recording now?
Yeah, I'm recording now. Oh, I like that pose. That's pretty.
You like it?
Forget about the eyes. Anyway.
I did put on mascara for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I forgot to put on my mascara, so oh well, what are you going to do?
It shows. You look great. You look great. It's so good to see your face. I haven't seen your face.
When's the last time we actually got together? I mean, down in Petaluma?
The fact that we can't remember the last time tells me it's been a while. It's been too long.
It's probably been close to 2 years. It's been at least a year. Easy.
Well, what people don't know, I mean, like, we are neighbors, but what people don't know is that wine country in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, is so huge that we live, like, where I feel like you're my neighbor, but it's like an hour and a half away. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, why don't you just drive over? Okay, let's see. I really do have to plan
With traffic, that will be all day.
All day. It's an all-day event. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming on here today. How are you?
I'm good. I'm healthy. We're all healthy. We've got masks. We're out and about a little bit. We're kind of.
Are you? Yeah. Are you able to get out? I did see on Facebook that you went out for that cool looking hike in Angwin.
Yeah, we're hiking. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of family hikes and cookouts.
That's really cool. Very cool. Now, I'm going to jump into this voiceover thing here because, I need to know how did you first get into voiceover in the first place? I mean, I know that you were a physical therapist, for a number of years beforehand, right? So how the heck did you get here?
Well, everybody does that. I wasn't a physical therapist. I was an occupational therapist. I was an occupational therapist, but I did that for 15 years. And I was the rehab manager. I was the manager of a rehab unit in San Francisco, and I had a staff of about 17, 18 therapists. Yeah. And it was really fast paced, and I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Question mark, up inflection.
That's called upspeak. So what I ended up getting pregnant with my first daughter, Lila, as you know, and I just was like, I am not coming back to this job. Like, when I went on maternity leave, it was that was the thing I was most excited about, not like birthing a human, but like maternity leave. I was like, I ain't never coming back.
And did you not go back?
No, I went back part-time for just a bit to like retrain my replacement. But I lived just like a couple blocks, incidentally, from Voice One, Elaine Clark's voiceover school.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, just like literally 2 blocks. I couldn't believe it. But I've always loved commercials, which is kind of funny because no one says that, right? Everybody, how'd you get into VO? It's like, oh, I did all these voices. I love to do silly voices or whatever.
Animation. I want to do animation and games. Yeah.
I don't care about that at all.
Yeah.
I just always mimicked commercials. I always loved commercials.
Well, that makes sense because, that leads kind of, no. Okay. So finish your story. Finish that story.
So I trained. I just never went back to my day job, and I trained with Elaine, and I did that. So it's been,
While you were in San Francisco.
Yeah. Wow. That was about 11 years ago.
Wow. Okay, cool. And then were you able to pretty much get to work right after that? I know you also studied with Nancy Wolfson.
Yep.
And so how long did it take before you started booking jobs after you were studying at Voice One?
I started booking jobs. I mean, it was, for me, I just love those stories about someone who like finishes their training and books a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That was not me. I was just a slow build. I started on pay to plays. I booked, within the first few months, I guess, but just small jobs, and built. But I mean, I just continued to train and continued to try to, level up.
Yeah.
So I did with Nancy and upgraded my demo after about a year.
Yeah.
And then got an agent, and so it just
cool.
built slow.
Well, now, so you're doing a lot. I mean, when I met you at a get together in Sonoma that time, you and I were you had started about maybe a year ahead of me or something like that. And then we were kind of chugging along, and then all of a sudden there's like a meteoric rise. You started like booking all these national commercials and left me in the dust.
Oh,
and so no, but is that pretty much the kind of work that you do a lot of? Is it mostly commercials, or is it a blend of different stuff?
It's really a lot. It's everything, really. It's funny. I love commercials, so that's what I love to do the most. But I consider myself kind of a work-a-day voice actor. I mean, I do corporate stuff, and I do e-learning. I'm on rosters where I don't have to audition, which is nice, and I just get that's pretty great.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I do, but yeah, I love it. I mean, I've done toys, I've done video games. So just a little smattering of everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't do movie trailers or anything like that, but
yeah, but it's nice to be able to dabble in different things. It kind of keeps things interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that no day, every day looks different, and the scripts you get are from all over the place, which is really fun.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you had to choose something to do more of, is there something that you'd want to do more of?
Yeah, I love TV commercials. Yeah. So the more TV commercials, it's really fun to have something to show for your work. When you're doing corporate work or e-learning, and it's usually internal usage, and you're just you do the work and you never get to see it. It's so weird being part of a creative process, team.
Yeah,
you never see your work.
No,
so anytime I can see a commercial or a toy or a app or whatever, that's my favorite.
And when you can share it too, I mean, so often, so much of my work is just like that. It's like, it doesn't matter to anybody except for the people that it's specifically intended for. It's like, oh, I'd love to share this on social media, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. And then are you ever like, people think I bet they think I don't ever work.
Totally. Yeah. And even I'll do a bunch of commercials for Spotify and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, radio.
But I've never heard myself on Spotify or Pandora or on the radio. I've never heard or seen myself on TV or anything. It's just
I've heard you, haven't I?
You might have, yeah.
Mustard? Do you do a mustard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard you.
Well, good. Somebody has. Thank God. See, it's true. I do work.
You do.
Now, considering all the cool stuff that you've done, has there been anything that stands out? Speaking of like sharing and kind of bragging a little bit, humble brag. Has there anything that, like, if somebody asks you what's your favorite thing that's happened in your career so far, if you had to choose one thing, is there something that stands out like that's been the pinnacle so far, even if it wasn't like an enormous moneymaker or anything like that? It's what's the highlight for you?
Well, okay, I'm going to give you two things. Well, actually, I'm going to give you three things. So just sit down. So it's always I feel like when you I'll make it quick though.
Go ahead.
But it is exciting when you're watching TV and you get to see your commercial. So like when there have been times
I wouldn't know
where our family's been watching TV and the commercial comes on and you don't expect it and you're like, oh my God, that's, and the kids get really excited and that's fun.
That's really cool.
So probably the one that ran the most was this commercial for Closet Maid. It was
right.
Or KitchenAid. I did one for KitchenAid.
Right. Yeah.
For a while, but honestly, because I'm a singer, the thing that is the coolest to me is I've done a couple Fisher Price toys, and I did a singing toy.
Oh, fun!
It's like this construction site, little people construction site thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's cool because you go in the store and you see it on the shelves.
Oh, really? Can you like press the button to play it and all that? Oh, that's awesome.
I should have brought it to totally annoy you with.
Gosh, maybe next time, Jen. Well, that's cool. Now your kids, you've gotten your kids into the game too.
That's what I was saying. The coolest thing is this time last last June, I was in Hollywood with my daughter. So really the highlight of my career is writing my daughter's
her coattails. That's so great.
Because she was cast in a Pixar movie. She was in Toy Story 4.
So cool.
No, because I've told everybody.
Oh, look, she's posting about it again.
Look, they won an Academy Award.
Did you guys go to the Oscars?
No.
Oh, okay. That would have been cool, but
no. Her part was small, but she was a human part. She wasn't a toy.
Right.
But she had billing up there with cool people.
That's so cool. That is awesome. And how about Jonah has done stuff too? Has he done, what kind of stuff does he does? Is it commercials, that kind of thing too?
Yes. So my daughter Lila is 11 and my son.
She's 11 now.
She's 11. So Jonah's 8 though. Jonah's 8 and he has done cool stuff too, like commercials, and he's done a few animations.
Cool.
But he worked for Lego and Star Wars. And,
perfect.
Yeah, like just fun stuff, like hospitals where he plays like a sick kid, and
Excellent. He's had experience in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, that's super cool. Hi, my dog is coming to visit.
Is that your doggy?
Yeah, she's wanting a treat, but she ain't getting it right now. Maybe if she stays shut up for this entire interview, maybe she'll get a treat. Yeah.
No, I'm going to do the same with my kids. I'm going to give them a treat.
Do they get a cookie treat? Oh, you want a cookie? Good boy, good girl. Hey, I'm going to take a swig of water, and that leads me to my next question. We need to stay hydrated all the time. What are you drinking like all day, every day?
Water. Yeah, water. I do have this one water with electrolyte, but I have to tell you, the one thing when people ask me about mouth noise, which I have no secrets to, but the one thing that I feel like kind of works when I end up doing this when I go to San Francisco or another studio to record. I'll stop at a Starbucks, which I can't believe I'm plugging Starbucks because I own a coffee company with my husband, as you know.
And we're going to get to that.
There's the Tazo tea, the red, what's it called?
I don't know.
I want to say paradise tea. It's not paradise tea.
Was it like
we'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
The show notes. I'll look it up and put it in the show notes. But it's the red tea. And if you get it unsweetened with just a little bit of ice, because you don't want your throat to be cold. And it's supposed to go over ice. It's not a hot tea.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And that it's really tart, so it
so it gets your salivary glands going and that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah, you don't want the sugar because that'd be tacky.
Right.
So just that red tea with just a little bit of ice.
And of course, coffee. You do drink coffee.
I drink coffee. It's great for mouth noise.
It's so many people. I get it. People are avoiding, they avoid, coffee and milk and sugary drinks and all that kind of thing. But I have so much mouth noise anyway, mostly probably from my allergy medication. I just got dry mouth all the time, all year round. And so it's just, I'm just going to drink whatever the hell I want. But, usually the mouth noise is definitely the worst first thing in the morning when I probably still have a cup of coffee in my hand while I'm like recording, and it just, it doesn't quite work.
You're doing it wrong.
That's it. Now
put
tell
the
us.
Coffee down.
Now, what's your home studio like these days? Because everybody has to have a home studio.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yes. It's funny when you start out, you start out small and then you make these upgrades.
Yeah.
And I started in a closet and never upgraded.
Well, if it works,
I upgraded my mic and I got ISDN and Source Connect and the preamp and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, I live in a very quiet neighborhood. And, I've got sound panels or, stuff.
And tons of clothes.
To treat the room. Clothes. And that way it's, tax deductible when I buy more clothes. It's part of my business.
That is good business.
Don't do that. If you have a closet full of clothes and you have a reflection filter, and then you do things here and there, you can have a decent sound.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't have
worked on it over the years, but it's a closet.
Yeah, exactly. Are you still using ISDN much?
So I just 2020 at the beginning of this year kicked ISDN to the curb.
You did.
Yep.
Because you did well with that for the last 5 years or so, huh?
Yeah, but when I saw the studios turning over, I have a few regular studios that I work with, and they always require ISDN, and when they started going to Source Connect, it was like,
yeah.
And all the specs that I get for auditions now say Source Connect, IPDTL.
Right, exactly. So, and it's a heck of a lot less expensive than ISDN if you can even get it.
When it went down, it's hard to get service, and it's a hassle. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, obviously, you're a busy voice actor, and you've got 2 voice actor kids. And how do you balance it? I mean, it's work and private life has got to be crazy. And you sing in a rock band. You've got a band on top of everything else, let alone the kids' activities. Your husband and you have a gourmet coffee company, Ohm. And so how do you fit in all that? God.
It's funny, as you're saying that, I'm like, there's no separation. It's funny because when I was a therapist, going to work every day, and then my husband was going to work every day, and we'd come home at 6 o'clock or whatever, and we'd eat dinner and catch up and whatever. I always dreamed of the kind of life where we could integrate creativity and our business and something entrepreneurial and creative, and that's exactly what has happened.
Yeah.
Because my husband is the guitar player in my band.
Oh, yeah.
We have a coffee company together, and the kids are all up in my voiceover business. And so there's really no separation between our business lives and our family life. But it's all creative stuff, things that we've created entrepreneurially, so in
they're
that
the
sense,
babies aside from your babies,
they are.
and as long as you're enjoying it and not completely nuts. Well, what am I saying? Of course, everybody's completely nuts.
Yeah, I am completely nuts, but there are times when there's just no balance and it's crazy. But I think everybody feels that way, and I would not change it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, given all that, do you find is there downtime? I mean, maybe there is now with COVID going on, and you have to kind of shelter in place as much as possible and socially distance, blah, blah. I mean, before COVID, was there downtime? Can you find some downtime to just like put it all aside and just act like a normal family?
Yes. Yeah, there is. And 2020 is really, we've kind of made that our focus, because 2019 was craze balls. Like we just went too hard, and that takes a toll.
Yeah.
Takes a toll on your mental health, your physical health.
Right.
So, and it's crazy how much more creative you are when you give yourself the space to just have some silence and have some space. And So I'm really taking it more than ever, and I'm prioritizing it more than ever. But it's a discipline. It's not like, even if work is slow, there's always a bajillion things to do.
That's true.
So I'm learning to say, okay, turn it off.
Yeah.
Carve out this time. So I think I'll get better at it.
I know it's a work in progress, right? I mean, just like acting, just like voiceover and all that other stuff. That's life. It's just, you do the best you can, and you keep learning and try to get better, Yeah,
I feel at this age, I feel like I should have mastered the shit a little bit. But,
you're funny.
I keep learning. Yep.
All right. Well, as of now, just like I asked you if you had a career highlight, or highlights, think back, and was there ever, of course there was, embarrassing moments, funny moments, when I don't know, it could be either a funny direction that was given to you that made you just kind of go, huh? Or did you ever screw up so bad or whatever? Was there anything that's like stands out, embarrassing or funny wise, that that is a favorite story for you?
Yes. Okay, I'll give you both, because just a couple weeks ago I had I did a directed session for a hotel opening.
Okay.
And everybody was happy. The agency, the producer, blah blah blah. We did it. They call back and they're like, "Okay, Jen, they want a lot more exuberance. They want a lot more perky, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, okay, sure, of course, and
because you're so boring anyway. God,
I know it was. So I listened back to what we did, and I was like, okay, I feel good about what we did, but so they clearly want something completely different. So we get on the session, and they're like, "We want you to be a cheerleader with daddy issues." I'm like, okay.
For a hotel opening. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, let's go with that.
What the hell did that even translate into? Or did it?
I haven't seen it. It hasn't come out yet, because this was just a couple years or weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I also have a very embarrassing moment when it was my first union job. I was Taft Heart lead for this job, and it was a spec commercial for Crest, and I had just gotten ISDN, and I had it all, I'm a set it and forget it kind of person. I had to like hire the people to do all the dials, and then I took pictures of it, and I typed it all up and I wrote it in a chart, and I'm like, I'm never touching this ever. And I had every permutation of anything that could happen. Well, okay, if I want a phone patch through the codec, how do I do this? So that's what they wanted. They want a phone patch through the codec.
Okay.
So we did that. We connected, and everything seemed to go fine. I was like, oh yeah, I'm Taft Heart lead now. And I get the audio. I listen back to send it in.
Yeah.
And the whole session, like the guy who was directing me, I think he was in a convertible. I have this vision of him like Ari from Entourage, like except even more aloof. Like he didn't care enough to even like be, deprecating. He was just, but he was just, so the whole session was the noise from his car.
Oh no. And that came across on your audio?
On the audio, and it was a phone patch, so I was recording. And I did phone patches, but I've never done it through my codec.
Through your codec, yeah.
So I just had one stupid thing, one dial. The whole thing. I was so embarrassed.
That's
brutal. I had to call the producer back, and I had to go, oh, I'm so sorry, and so he had to connect with me again, and it was, yeah.
Did it work out in the end?
Well, that was a spec commercial. It was a demo.
Okay.
And it never aired.
Yeah. Especially the first version with the car noise.
Yeah. So, yeah. But you know what? At that time, I was newer to voiceover, so it was really devastating.
Yeah.
But now, after 11 years, we're human.
Shit happens.
You have to really make sure that your ducks are in a row, and you never want to leave things, loose ends untied.
Yeah.
But once you have done your due diligence and you're being responsible and professional, blah blah, and something goes wrong.
Yeah. And
that's happened to me when I've had to wait on studios who didn't have their or scheduling where the talent before me went over, so we're late or whatever. So you just have to roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they get pissed at you for having technical difficulties, then they clearly haven't been in business long enough to have them themselves and know how embarrassing it is. Yeah. Right.
That said, that is not something I'm proud of.
No. And we've all been there, though. We've all been there, in one way or another. Well, that's awesome. Now, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you about. Is there anything how do people get in touch with you if they want to talk to you about either voiceover services, coffee, anything? What do you want to plug?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So this is going to be the longest part of the interview.
Okay. Good to know. But hold on. Let me just check my Twitter feed. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So my voiceover services are Jennifer. No, wait. www.
Take two.
You're editing this, right? JenniferKnight.net. JenniferKnight.net. And then I'm on social media like Facebook and Instagram and I think Twitter, Jen Knight VO.
Okay.
And then my kids My adorable kids are at realkidvoices.com, and they're also on Instagram and Facebook at realkidsvoices. realkidvoices.com. And then my coffee company, if you're into specialty coffee, we roast coffee, and we do subscriptions, so you can have it mailed to you at any interval, and you can cancel at any time. You can order online.
But you wouldn't want to.
Why would you do that? That's stupid. Don't be an idiot.
Stupid.
We are ohmcoffee.com, OHM coffee.com. And ohm is the measure of electrical resistance. So it's all about amplifiers and guitars. My husband's a guitar player. So if you're a music lover, if you're into music, you should really check our coffee out. You'll dig the descriptions. And then my band is
yes.
Mama Said.
Mama Said.
MamaSaidBand.com. And we're on Instagram and Facebook. We're at Mama Said Band NV for Napa Valley. And we're on Spotify and Apple Music now.
Cool.
And,
did I see, are you going to be releasing new music soon?
Yeah, we've been releasing a few singles.
Okay.
So yeah, been doing a lot of writing and recording lately because COVID. So
you can't play out.
Right? Yeah, so it's kind of, hopefully we'll have some gigs. We have some gigs scheduled in August and one for September, and so we're hoping that starts to pick up. But
yeah, really, really cool. Well, that's awesome, Jen. Well, thanks so much for coming and joining me for this today.
It is my pleasure. It's always so good to see you and talk.
Great to see you too. Great to see you.
Bye.
And let's, whenever this lightens up and we can get together and hopefully without masks and we can just kind of get back to normal and like spit all over each other.
That would be nice to spit all over you.
I would just have it rain down upon me. Gross.
It would be your pleasure. I know.
All right, Jen, thanks for coming.
Good to see you.
All right. Bye.